Hey everybody, Carol here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do 6 coasters in resin using my homemade silicone geode molds. That there you see me putting in is the mica, which is a lemon yellow, and that is a coffee. All I did was mix some resin in with that. You should always put your mica in first so it doesn't blow up in your face. Now there we go with the coffee. I'm putting it around the edges, and my hopes here was that they would pretty much stay there, but I soon find out that that is not going to happen. So that's just the beginning of my troubles, but you'll see as we go along what else goes wrong. After I added this coffee, I move on to the lemon yellow. Really pretty. And it would have been great if it had remained somewhat on top, but the coffee keeps overtaking it. Even before I've put the screen on top to cure it for 24 hours, it's immediately starting to get covered over. So I try messing around with it. I add some more clear to the center, hoping it pushes the yellow out and the coffee off to the sides, but it doesn't really work. As you can see right there, it's all moved back in. So now I'm using the heat gun, seeing if I could move that coffee off to the outer sides, but still not working. But I figure, okay, as long as I get striations that look like an eyeball, I'll work with it. So now here we are 24 hours later, and I'm going to use some acrylic paints, as you can see here. I've got Prussian blue. I've got magenta mixed with some Prussian blue to make it raspberry, and I've got some bronze mixed with metallic white. Those colors were already mixed with medium to begin with, because I use them in a pour, and I mix them again now with some Liquitex glaze because I want them to look transparent. So now you see I'm just drawing in the iris and filling that in with the Prussian blue, and then I'll come back in with the Prussian blue and then the magenta and add back some more striations all around the eyeball. But I'm still disappointed in the fact that the yellow has disappeared. It's all just too dark for me. So that's where the bronze and the white come in, because I'm going to have to go back in and use that to brighten things up. So as you're watching me do this, let me just say welcome back to all my subscribers. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel and this is your first time, I want you to know that I don't just do resin. I do acrylic pours, acrylic painting, and just starting to break into more and more mixed media. And I'm just taking you along with me on my journey because resin is really new to me. So this has been a real fun experiment. So if you do like what you see, I hope you'll subscribe and click the bell to get further notifications. To subscribe is free, so it doesn't cost you anything. And I hope that if you like this, that you will share my video also, so that I can keep growing my channel. Now you can see how I'm trying to put this bronze around and brighten things up. And so far, I'm not hating this, because I feel like I can fix it to look the way I want it to look. My biggest problem comes in the next part after I'm done doing this and what I do next. So this mold that I made myself here. It was really easy. I just got a silicone mat that you can find in any store in your kitchen section, because a lot of times it's used for baking. And I just made I drew with a marker the outline of each coaster, and then I went around on top of that with 100% silicone caulk. It has to be 100% silicone. And then I did a few more layers on top of that to build up the sides. And as you can see, it's not exactly pretty or very neat, but it works. This is probably, I think, my third time using it, and it does not leak underneath, and it's holding up pretty well. So I can't complain, because it's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying some of these molds out there, because they're not cheap. So that's how I made that. And what I did was I just tested it with water after I was done. I didn't jump right into resin, so I could see if it leaked. And it did in a couple spots, and I just reinforced that with more silicone caulk, and then we were good to go. But unfortunately, I just wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was almost at the limit for how full I could make these molds to begin with now. And that's where the trouble comes in. Now, if you're interested to know how I mixed my paints, what they were, and also the mica and the glitter and things that I've used in the resin, just check in the description below. And you'll also find my Instagram, Facebook, and other information while you're there. And if there's anything you see in these videos that you like and you want to ask me about that item, just email me. My email address is down in the description, because it's probably not in my Etsy shop yet, since I've been redoing that completely. So I'm just filling in the rest of that center there. And then I'm going to let it sit for about an hour so that the acrylic paints will dry. And then I come back in, and here's where things really go downhill. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix a little bit of resin up with this crushed glass. There you go. And I'm going to go around and start filling in the iris. Now, this crushed glass is another thing that I tinted myself. It was really just a big jar of clear. And what I did was, since I had alcohol ink, I put a little bit in a cup, couple drops of alcohol ink on top, and just stirred it up, put it out on a paper towel for a couple hours to dry, like spread it out, and then put it in a jar. And it was a very economical way to get different color crushed glass without having to spend money buying all these different colors of crushed glass. I just got the big jar of the clear that looks kind of like silver and like a mirror pieces. So that's one little tip. But the thing that I do wrong here is that I built it up way too tall. So I just showed you that ultrafine glitter. I mixed a little bit of that in with the clear just to give it a little bit of bling. And now I think I'm going to cover everything over, which is going to be my final layer. But much to my chagrin, I realized that I have mounded my glass too high. So I'm not getting it covered. So I'm going to now take a little more clear and fill it up even more. There you go. Now what I just showed you was that lemon yellow, mica, and some casting craft white pigment paste. And what I did was I put a tiny bit of that mica in a cup with an ounce of resin and 1 drop of the paste, because I know that the white paste will help pull things down, because what I'm going to do next, I don't want it to sit on top. I want it to sink. However, as you see here, I'm starting to put more and more, and it's at its peak. So now I'm taking this yellow and white, and I'm using my stick, and I'm trying to put in some more light striations in the eyeball. And I'm not going to make you watch each one. But trust me, it's not working, because I guess it's the mica, maybe it's the casting craft pigment paste, I don't know. But besides making it sink, which is okay, it also made everything go out of shape. As you can see, it's all wiggly. And then over there, I've actually got spillage, and that happened in a couple places where it overflowed because I just had too much resin. It was just at the peak, so the dam broke. So this part here was somewhat of a fail, but I don't like to use the word fail. I'm just going to say this was a semi-success, because I'm a glass half full girl. So while it still looks cool, it's just not at all what I had pictured and not coming out the way I want. But I still decided to show you this whole video because I don't think it's a total fail. And I think they still look neat, but it's just not what I envisioned. So next you're going to see the cured results, and you'll see how sparkly and neat they are. But it's just not dragon's eyes the way I wanted them to look. So here they are, all 6 of them, very shiny and very sparkly. And I will just try this again. So till next time, stay safe, everyone. Be kind and have a great day.